I've never had sleep paralysis before this time. I was in my early 20s, just working retail, going out with friends at night and working at the daytime. I always took night shifts for work since I like sleeping in the mornings. I always had a hard time sleeping at night anyway. I was renting a two-bedroom apartment at the time with a crazy roommate. It was the year 2012, I think, and I couldn't sleep for a week. I tried so many times. Why was it so hard to sleep? Anyway, I had a day off midweek and finally fell asleep in the middle of the day. I always slept on my back. My bed faced the bedroom door, and when I fell asleep, I had the bedroom door open. I remember opening my eyes for a few seconds and seeing this woman, wearing all white with big curly hair, just standing in my doorway. She was dressed in an all-white gown, and it seemed like she was holding something. I can't remember what it was, but it reminded me of a blender. I saw her for a few seconds, just standing there and staring at me. I wondered if it was my roommate looking all crazy. I blinked my eyes a couple of times, but she was still standing there. I'm like, why is my roommate just standing there watching me sleep? Like I said, I hadn't slept in a week, so I was pretty exhausted and fell back to sleep. I asked my roommate the next day if she was standing by my bedroom door at the time when I was sleeping. She replied no, but I didn't believe her anyway. Like I said, she was kind of crazy. So I didn't think about it too much at the time. So now fast forward to a year and I lived in a single bedroom apartment. No roommates. But I lived on the second floor all by myself. I know, scary for a young girl, but I like my independence. So another one of those weeks happened that I couldn't sleep for a week. I was exhausted and it was 3 a.m., so I finally decided to just lay there and see if I could get a little shut-eye at least. I don't remember falling asleep, but my body was relaxed, and I fell asleep for a few minutes. I woke up suddenly. I opened my eyes, and there she was. The lady in white was right in front of my face. I can't even begin to describe the fear I felt in that moment. She was right in front of my face, and I could not move but blink my eyes. She was the same lady I had seen a year before, but she got closer. She had the same curly dark hair with a long white gown. I kept blinking my eyes, thinking it might just be a terrifying dream that I could wake up from. For what felt like eons, but just probably a few seconds, I came to. I got up and turned on all the lights in my apartment and looked around. No one was there, of course. I called my then boyfriend and told him what had happened. He assured me it just might have been a bad dream. We talked for a couple more minutes and then I hung up. I knew it wasn't a dream. I blinked my eyes and she was still there. The only difference was that I couldn't move. I didn't know what was happening to me at that time, and then this phenomena was called sleep paralysis. I researched it and found out that many people go through this, and not just me. It's nothing supernatural, but our body's way of telling us, hey, you're doing too much. You need rest. And no, the story has not ended yet either. So another year passes, and I meet this amazing guy. I was a big horror fan at the time, too. I loved everything horror. Gory, not so much. The year was 2013, and that year the movie The Conjuring came out. I hadn't even seen the trailer of that movie, but my boyfriend said that it's supposed to be a good horror movie and took me to the theater to see it. It's one of the best horror movies I've ever seen, and I've seen a lot. Do you guys remember the part where the parent family dad was on his trip, and the mom and the kids were all alone in the house, and one of the sisters sleepwalked? This is the part where Cindy, the sleepwalker, went into the oldest Andrea's room and kept banging her head on the closet dresser. Andrea wakes up and takes her back to her own bed and lays her down. Andrea then goes to the closet drawer curiously and looks up. The witch, Bathsheba, was on top of the dresser. And then she leaps on top of Andrea. The witch, Bathsheba, looked exactly like the woman from my sleep paralysis. I freaked out when I saw that part in the movie and I told my boyfriend that she's the one. Of course she can be the one, but she looked exactly like her. I often wonder why her, why the same woman for the past 2 years is scaring the heck out of me. But like always, I don't think about it too much and brush everything aside and just go on with my life. Anyway, since I started my sleep paralysis, it hasn't stopped. To this day, I get sleep paralysis, but I do make sure I try to at least get some sleep, if not much. Yes, I still can't sleep, and now I have a 9 to 5 job, so I have to make myself extremely tired to take sleep meds. I have many more sleep paralysis stories to tell and my own explanations, but that's for another time. Thanks so much for listening.